So it's halfway through January, everyone's back at work, and now I think it's the perfect time to start looking for the project vehicle for the upcoming trip in Siberia. Now for people watching this video who are from outside the UK, here's just a quick heads up. When people over here want to buy a used vehicle, there are really only 4 main websites. These are Auto Trader, eBay, Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace, which is pretty new. But before I go and start looking around the net, I think it's a good idea to lay out a few basic requirements on what I need in the upcoming project vehicle. So number 1, it has to be in okay condition. Don't get me wrong, I like a project, but I don't want to take on something that's too far gone. This includes excessive rust. Number 2, low mileage. Now Mitsubishis generally have a good reputation for reliability, as there are plenty out there that have well over 200,000 miles that are still going strong to this day. Now ideally I would like to find something with around 100,000 miles or less. And 3, the price. Now I don't mind spending up to £5,000 for the vehicle, which I think is a good price, but if needs be I don't mind spending a little bit more if the vehicle's right. So I headed over to the net to start searching all the main websites. Over the next 2 weeks I came back every day, but I couldn't find anything that fits the requirements. All of the vehicles that was listed was either way over budget, the mileage was far too high, or they just looked like they needed a little bit too much work. So I had an idea. I need to find some type of Delica's owners club. So I headed over to Facebook and I typed in Delica in the search bar and I found a group called Mitsubishi Delica's Owners Club UK. So I joined the group and once accepted, I put out a post asking all the members if they knew of any Delicas that fitted my requirements. Around half an hour later, I received a message off a man called Paul. He said he has a Delica that's up for sale and he's around 30 miles away from myself. He then tells me the vehicle has 110,000 miles and it's just got a full MOT with hardly any advisories. And by his accounts, he says it's a really good runner. He's asking £3,500. If the vehicle's right, I'm sure the price is negotiable. He then sent me a good selection of pictures of the Delica, and when you consider that the vehicle is 21 years old, it actually looks in pretty good nick. But you can't just go off pictures. I need to go and view the vehicle so I can carry out a good inspection, so we arranged a viewing for the following Sunday, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the one. Well, the weekend has passed, it's now Monday, and as you can guess, I bought the Delica. So here's the Trans-Siberian Roadtrip Project Van, a 1999 Series 2 Mitsubishi Delica 2.8 TD Chamonix model. The odometer reads 180,000 kilometers, which works out to around 111,000 miles. But for what I paid and the general condition of the vehicle, I really don't mind that little bit extra mileage. And I finally got it for £3,150, which I think's okay for this vehicle. And while we're on the subject of prices, I will be tracking all the costs for this trip in a spreadsheet that I will link in the video description. This will include all things such as conversion costs, fuel, insurance and everything else. Back to the van. Externally wise, it's in pretty good condition. So here are a few of the good points. The previous owner informed me that he'd carried out a little bit of work making the vehicle expedition ready. He had installed some uprated springs and adjusted the torsion bar. This has increased the total ground clearance of the vehicle by around 2 inches. Not only that, but he has also fitted some Cooper Discovery AT3 tyres, which were the tyres I was looking at fitting anyway, so this has saved me 2 jobs. Now some of you may have noticed this black pipe thing on the front of the bonnet. This is called a snorkel, which is basically a tube that connects to the airbox inside the engine that provides air from a higher vantage point. This then allows the vehicle to drive in a little bit deeper water. There is also an aftermarket exhaust fitted out the side, but I'm not sure if I like that yet. Now to the bad points, but honestly, there's nothing too major. First off, the main problem, if any, is rust. The previous owner did inform me that he treated a few areas by cutting out and welding in new sections on the sill, but as you can see there are a few patches starting to come through on the wheel arches as well as other places. Also, the underside of the vehicle at the rear end is starting to show a little bit of surface rust, but I think a good vehicle body shop can fix all of these issues. And finally, at the front of the van, the driver's side indicator unit is missing an outer casing. So other than those 2 points, as well as a few blemishes, a dent here and there, that's pretty much it. I don't think that's too bad for a 21-year-old van. Internally, well, I know you can't tell from viewing this video, but trust me, you don't need to be a detective to figure out the previous owner had dogs, big smelly ones and lots of them. And I'm also guessing the guy smoked, but nothing a bit of elbow grease won't solve. Regards to the trim, apart from being a bit grubby, it's actually in very good nick. The driver's seat has a small tear, but nothing to worry about. And as it's a Chamonix model, this comes with full leather interior as well as other features like white cluster dials, electric steps, as well as other fancy gizmos. One thing I'm not too keen on is the previous owner has changed all the interior bulbs to bright blue LEDs. One thing the owner has fitted, which is pretty good, is the Pioneer stereo, as it has Bluetooth, so this saves me buying one in the future. So after all that, I would say everything is pretty much spot on. All the van needs is a good deep clean and it'll be ready for the conversion. Driving wise, the Delica pulls really good and has plenty of power through the gears. The engine starts first time every time and sounds like it ticks over well. It does have a little bit of a squeaky fan belt on a cold start, but other than that should be easy to fix. On the roads, it might not be the fastest vehicle in town and it sort of handles like an elephant on a skateboard, but having the ability to go off-road is why I chose this vehicle. As it started to rain, I decided to take a little detour and give the four-wheel drive system a little bit of a test, and despite the wet weather, as well as the flashing 4x4 indicator, the van handled really good, even when it did get a little bit slippy. There was plenty of traction, the four-wheel drive system seems to work really good, and the vehicle just feels at home off-road. I think this is going to be the perfect vehicle for the trip. So, that's the project vehicle. Let me know in the comments what you think. Also, any owners or mechanics who are watching this video and know this model, any advice would be appreciated. This video is part of a series of films where it follows myself purchasing a vehicle and then converting it into an expedition camper van. Then, when everything is ready, I will be setting off on a 20,000 km long road trip from the UK all the way to the town of Vladivostok, which is located on the far eastern side of Russia, next door to North Korea. If this sounds like something you would like to follow, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload a new video. And if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button and give it a share. Also, the whole trip from converting the vehicle to filming and editing all of the videos is and will be done completely by myself. If you'd like to support me, please check out my Patreon account in the video description, where supporters will get exclusive access to content. To start this series from the very beginning, please click the top video, and to watch the next episode, please click the bottom video. Cheers!